Hey, welcome back to the How to Podcast series. It's Dave with you. Hope you're doing well. I want to introduce you to a tool that I'm using for the How to Podcast series and some of my other shows. I do have 9 different podcasts, not 9 different episodes, 9 different shows, like complete podcast shows. And I use this tool often, and I love it, and I want to introduce it to you because I get this question often. I'm looking for another voice for my show or whatever, and there's new tools being added to this platform all the time. It's called Voicemaker.in. Voicemaker.in. You can find it using that as your search. A link in the show notes as well, because I like to be friends with you and give you all the tools that I'm using or that I'm trying. I do want to say up front, I do not make any money at all from Voicemaker.in. I would love to have them on my show. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. So, but I do want to talk about a tool that I use often, and I think it could be a good resource for you, especially if you're not like super tech savvy and you need a second voice on your show, maybe as the intro to your podcast or a quote that you want in your show or something. You just like to have a different voice. There's so many different voices to choose from. There's voices based on gender. There's voices based on countries and accents. You have age as well, children, youth, adults, and seniors. It's amazing, and you get to have these amazing voices on your show. So I'm going to use some of the features of Voicemaker.in and put them into the podcast so you can hear them. And there's a lot of different things. They have text to speech, so you give them a bunch of information, you upload it as words, and it'll translate them into voices. That's interesting. They also have speech to speech. So I talk, it translates my voice into somebody else's voice, and I can download my words with my cadence and all that stuff, which is pretty interesting. And I can be someone else. Very cool. And a lot of other great features on voicemaker.in. So again, this is all a tool for you, something that you can use in your podcast. And if you ever need help with this or you want somebody to demonstrate for you over Zoom, I'd love to do this for you, howtopodcast.ca. And maybe this could be the one thing that gets you started, is just finding a voice to help you in your podcast. Voicemaker.in, a podcast tool featured here on the How to Podcast series. Let's get into this and let's play with our voices in this tool, voicemaker.in. So on the How to Podcast series and the other shows that I do, I sometimes will have a large script of things that I want to bring into my show. So it could be about anything. Like, for example, a list of everywhere that this podcast is listened to. I can get that list, download it, upload it to voicemaker.in, and it'll read out all these countries that listen to my show. That's really kind of cool to kind of hear all these different countries. And sometimes I don't know how to pronounce all the countries. So the tool helps me, and it's very kind of cool that they can do this in a very efficient way. The one thing I really do love about voicemaker.in, just so you know, I put this out there, is how they do their pricing structure. Because on voicemaker.in, what I love is they don't automatically bill you for the next month. So it's like month to month billing. So if you forget, you don't get charged in the future if you're not using it. It just, if you pay for the month that you're in, and then that's it. And I actually like this because there's times where I've signed up for something, maybe you've done this, and you forget. And you keep seeing this charge on your bill, and you keep meaning to go and cancel or suspend or whatever, and you never do. And you're paying for something you never use, and then your wife gets angry at you. Has your partner ever got angry at you for anything that you paid for that you never use? You might want to try voicemaker.in because they don't do that. And let's just quickly go through, as of recording in the month of June of 2025, their current pricing structure. They do have a free plan. Now, the free plan is a great way to kind of kick the tires and see if this works for you. It's totally free to use. There's a limit to how many times you can make a conversion from speech to speech or whatever. It's the very basic bare bones of the platform. You don't really get a good insight to everything that it does, but it gives you something that you can try. So it's completely zero. It's forever free, but there's a limit. So at this point of recording, up to 250 characters, that's not letters, that's spaces, commas, dashes, and letters, all included, 250 characters per month on the free plan. So if you're doing short little things, maybe you're just doing little like quote clips, and you want voices to voice your clips, and you have short little 2-sentence clips, the free plan might be perfect for you. You're not going to get the full library of voices to choose from. There's kind of a scaled back amount of voices to select from, but it gets you in the door. It has 750 default voices and can serve up 120 different languages on the free plan. So again, that's completely free to use, voicemaker.in. And again, I'm not being paid to do this episode at all. It's just a tool that I'm using, and I thought you'd like it. I primarily live in the starter package, where that's the next level up, and that's $5 a month. Okay, come on. Like, that's a coffee and a donut, maybe, where you live? I'm not sure. But $5 a month, and that's usually where I go. I'm allowed, instead of 250 characters, I'm allowed 200,000 characters per month and 4 hours of audio with the $5 a month plan. So 200,000 characters, that's a lot. And I can have up to 3,000 characters every time I convert something. So there's a limit per conversion to a maximum of 200,000 characters per month on the $5 plan. Okay. I get the chance to have 250 pro voices, the next level up. I get more voices to choose from compared to the free plan. I get 1,000 default voices, 140 languages. I get speech to speech. I get subtitles. I get a bunch of other things as well under the $5 plan. The premium plan, again, at the time of recording, is $10 a month. You get 500,000 characters per month, up to 9 hours of audio, and up to 5,000 characters per conversion. You get custom voice cloning, Voicemaker with voice effects. You can get multi-voice editors, pronunciation editors, cloud storage, file history, a bunch more come with it. We're going to play with some of these tools today. And then at the business level, $20 a month, you get everything else we've talked about and a bunch more come to you in that. You get up to 1 million characters per month and up to 10,000 characters per conversion. So that's a lot. That's like audiobook world. Okay, so that's kind of the plans. Free, starter, premium, and business. At their time of recording, free, $5, $10, and business at $20. That's the pricing plans, and you get a 20% discount, again, at the time of recording, if you go to an annual plan and pay a one-time fee for the year. I'm doing the monthly because I'm not using this every single month all the time, but when I need it, it is super easy to use. You do not need to be a tech genius to use voicemaker.in. It's really a great tool. I like it. I love it. I use it, and I'm not sponsored. But again, voicemaker.in, I'd love to have you on my show to talk to you about your amazing tool. Voicemaker.in. That's the pricing plans. Okay, so let's start with the thing I use the most. It would be called text-to-speech. So in text-to-speech, you upload words, copy-paste, and it will read the words back to you in any voice you pick from the list of voices available to you based on the plan that you've selected. So within the $5 plan, there's like so many amazing voices to choose from. So I took a quote about podcasting, pasted it into voicemaker.in under the text-to-speech option, and it's a quote from Robert Garish around podcasting. So I'm gonna read you the quote, and then I'm gonna have this voicemaker.in also read the quote to you as Charles, and he's a grandpa, and he's got a funky voice, an old funky voice. So here's me reading it first, and then Charles. You just need one person to listen, get your message, and pass it on to someone else. And you've doubled your audience. Robert Garish. So here's voicemaker.in doing the exact same quote in Charles's voice, a grandpa. Here's Charles.
You just need one person to listen, get your message, and pass it on to someone else. And you've doubled your audience. Robert Garish.
So I think I like Charles's voice almost better for that. That's really kind of good. Thank you, Charles, for reading Robert's quote. So that's just text to speech. So again, you just copy your text from wherever it is, a website, whatever you got, your notes, whatever. If you have something you want to be read to you in a different voice, copy it, paste it into text to speech on voicemaker.in, and you can have Charles read for you. You can also pick a ton of other voices. There's so many things to pick from. Really fun to play with. Even if you just sign up for a month and just go through and play with the tools, I would encourage you to try it. Just try. It's really, really fun. And again, they don't automatically bill you for the next month, so you don't have to worry that you forgot about this tool. But go and play with it. I think it's really, really cool. So that's text to speech. You take all your words that are typed out, copy them, paste them into text to speech, and depending on what plan you have, there's a limit to how many words you can paste in there. And then all you have to do then is you hit generate speech in the top in the bottom corner of the page. You'll hear the voice, and then there's a little download arrow pointing down below. You click that, and it downloads for you, and there you go. You can move it right into your file, just like I did with Charles reading Robert's quote. That's text-to-speech on voicemaker.in. So this next tool that I'm using on voicemaker.in, I've never really used it up to today, and it is speech-to-speech. And what I love about speech-to-speech is instead of uploading words, I upload my voice. So I can upload a pre-recorded audio clip from, my voice, another voice. I would probably encourage you to have it without music behind it. So like without an intro music and outro music, I would suggest it's just the words, the voice that you upload. That's what I did when I did this. So it seemed to work really well. Or you can actually just record right on voicemaker.in. And there's a button right there. When you click on the speech-to-speech option at the top of the page, you can click, there's a record audio button right there. So that really kind of cool, because then you can just speak the words. You don't have to type them out. Just speak the words. It will capture your voice. And then at the top of the page, you'll see where it says change. There'll be a name there. You can pick a different voice, which represents, it'll take your words and then turn them into somebody else's voice. On the right-hand side of the screen when you're looking at it, you can adjust the voice effects. You can adjust the voice volume, voice speed, and voice pitch. And then there's also FX. So you can have some amazing, you can play with this all day. There's all kinds of different things you can do as well to the voice. So that's something to consider as well. So what I did is I recorded myself talking under speech-to-speech, and it took my words, and then it converted it into another voice altogether. So here's my recording directly to voicemaker.in. It's going to sound a little different because it's coming back to me from voicemaker.in. And then you'll hear me say the exact same thing, but it's a totally different voice, same inflection, same pausing, same little laugh and giggle and all that stuff in the background. But it's now going to be in a woman's voice. And I love this. I think it's really cool. This is the speech-to-speech option on voicemaker.in. First, my recording, and then after that, the voice of the female speaking as Dave and redoing it so you can make the comparison. But here we go. Speech-to-speech on voicemaker.in. Hey, this is Dave. I'm here on voicemaker.in, and I am trying the speech-to-speach option. So this is Dave's voice recording, and I wanted to give you the way you can take your voice and turn it into a different voice. So instead of typing everything up, doing all the typing and all that great stuff, you can just talk, and it will convert your voice into another voice. So if you're doing characters on your show and you want someone else's voice to be there with you, or you want to be a co-host and you want a co-host, you can voice the answer to your question or back and forth in the dialogue, and you can record your part and then record your co-host part or your guest part or whatever, and you can go into voicemaker.in and convert your voice and your cadence and how you talk into a completely different person, which is quite interesting. So you're going to hear me saying this, and you're also going to hear the other voice saying Dave's words, but in a different voice. Voicemaker.in, this is their speech-to-speech tool that is relatively new to the platform. I'd love for you to go check it out. Voicemaker.in. That's the website address, a link in the show notes. But yeah, you can turn your voice into any other voice. So this is me playing with speech to speech.
Hey, this is Dave. I'm here on voicemaker.in, and I am trying the speech to speech option. So this is Dave's voice recording, and I wanted to give you the way you can take your voice and turn it into a different voice. So instead of like typing everything up, like typing all that great stuff, you can just talk, and it will convert your voice into another voice. So if you're doing characters on your show and you want someone else's voice to be there with you, or you want to be a co-host and you want a co-host, you can voice me answer to your question and back and forth in the dialogue, and you can record your part and then record your co-host part or your guest part or whatever, and you can go into voicemaker.in and convert your voice and your cadence and how you talk into a completely different person, which is quite interesting. So you're going to hear me saying this, and you're also going to hear the other voice saying Dave's words, but in a different voice. Voicemaker.in, this is their speech-to-speech tool that is relatively new to the platform. I'd love it. Go check it out. Voicemaker.in. That's the website address. I've linked in the show notes. But yeah, you can turn your voice into any other voice. So this is me playing with speech to speech.
It's going to be funny now. I'm going to have people wanting me to be the other voice now on my show, and maybe not so much Dave. So that's it, like clip for clip. That's it. And I'm really impressed with how it changes that around. And that takes seconds. People, it takes seconds to do this on voicemaker.in. So that's speech to speech. So I've shown you text to speech, now speech to speech, and now the next one is voice cloning. This is very interesting because now I can do all kinds of things by it taking my voice and doing new things with it. So here we go. This is voice cloning on voicemaker.in. Interesting. Here we go. So to set up your cloned voice on voicemaker.in, there's a few steps you have to do. You can upload a pre-recorded clip of yourself, or you can just record right on the website, right on the platform. That's what I did, is I just recorded myself talking for about 2 minutes, 30 seconds. And I tried to say things that I would normally say within my podcast. I tried to use my inflection. I tried to use my pausing and kind of the gallop to my voice. And just in a really conversational way, I just recorded myself. And then after I've recorded myself, I go through and I give my voice a name, which I just called myself, and I have to go through and add labels. So for me, I clicked on, you just click add labels, and the first one popped up for me was gender. I picked male, and then I clicked again, and then I picked accent, and there's no Canadian. Oh well. So I picked American, which I'm not, but American is what I picked. And then the next label I added was age. I'm middle-aged. I wish I was younger, but middle-aged. And then I picked a category. And in there, the categories you can pick between animation, narrative, conversational, social media, entertainment, advertisement, informative, or a chatbot. So I picked conversational because that's kind of how I talk. And then I gave it a description, and that's it. And then I can clone my voice. So I recorded myself, and then I also tried uploading a clip. So what I did is I took one of my episodes that was less than 5 minutes in length. I only isolated the voice track. I took out all the music behind me and just the voice, just my voice, and uploaded that as well as an MP3 to voicemaker.in. You can do it either way. And I found that the upload worked better than the recorded voice for me, as my experience. So you can do whatever you want. You try either way. But with my uploaded track from a previous episode, again, less than 5 minutes long, or just record yourself on Audacity or whatever, record your voice for less than 5 minutes and just upload it that way as an attachment. That's another option for you. Do that, try that. And what I'm going to do then is play again me reading the voice or reading the quote from Robert that I used earlier. So I'm just going to bring it back again and paste it here. This was me originally reading it, and then me as the voice. the uploaded clone voice, where I've taken the quote and then used my cloned voice on voicemaker.in as an option instead of somebody else. It's my voice now is in the drop-down menu, and I can then upload anything I want, and I'm going to read it back as me. Dave, why would you ever need this? Well, if you've ever had a cold or lost your voice or you are tired and whatever, this might be an option for you to do this. I've had somebody on my podcast before, and they have in their throat and in their voice box, they can't talk for an extended length of time, but they still want a podcast. So to me, that would be a great use of this, where they could record their voice in a small chunk and then upload words to Voicemaker, select their own voice as a clone voice of themselves, and do a full-length episode without putting strain on their voice box. And maybe they just can't do that. So using this tool would allow them to have a full podcast episode without actually causing themselves harm. So if you're going to be all up in arms about, oh my gosh, I can't believe Dave's doing this with this tool, maybe there's a reason why someone would use this. And if you're listening to this going, I never thought I could do this, then maybe this is just for you. So this is, again, me and then voice cloned Dave me based on what I uploaded and how it translated and brought my voice into voicemaker.in. So then you can hear me be me through Voicemaker. Again, I'm going to put them up here together. I might mix it up. I might put the Voicemaker one first and then me, or me and then the Voicemaker, and you decide. But here is, again, the clip I did earlier and the clip from Voicemaker. We'll see which one's first. But here's both. You just need one person to listen, get your message, and pass it on to someone else. And you've doubled your audience. Robert Garish.
You just need one person to listen, get your message, and pass it on to someone else. And you've doubled your audience. Robert Garish.
Okay, so not too bad. You probably picked it out. Yeah. And if you said the second one, then yeah, you're right. That was the voicemaker.in version of Dave. But not horrible. Not like terrible. You can go and tweak and do a little bit more to it with all the effects and everything, but not too bad, not too shabby. So that's the two. So that's speech to speech. We've talked about text to speech, and now that's voice cloning on voicemaker.in. What do you think? So far, so good, right? There's a few more things I want to talk to you about voicemaker.in and what it does. But I thought those three, that's a great use case scenario right there. Text to speech to speech, and voice cloning for people who can't do extended lengths of interviews or extended episodes because of their voice, or you're sick and you just want to record an episode but you can't talk. Then clone your voice, upload the content, and it'll create it for you. There you go. Those are good use scenarios for something like voicemaker.in. But there's more. So I'll put a link and all this information in a link to Voicemaker, and I'll also put the information that came to me recently in an email from Voicemaker, which sparked the idea to create this episode. So they're introducing speech to speech. Again, record or upload your voice and transform it into any AI voice from your library. So I turned myself into a female voice of Dave, and it retains your original emotion, style, and vocal character. So that's the one. The self-serve custom voice cloning. In just a few minutes of audio is all it takes. Clone your voice instantly, and it's ready in over 30 languages then, which is amazing. Available in all paid plans. So that's your self-serve custom voice cloning. And then they're introducing multilingual mastery. And this is going to be great for optimized for Indian languages, crafted for emotional depth, phonetic clarity, and cultural nuance. Supports 28 plus languages, including Hindi, Marathi, Bengali, Tamil, all of these amazing different voices you can pick from. And that's also included. There's also SSO integration for enterprise plans, and on the horizon, voice enhancer, where it'll take your raw, noisy, low-quality vocals into studio-grade audio recordings with our AI-generated noise cancellation and intelligent vocal enhancement very similar, I would believe, to Adobe Podcasts, which I really enjoy. So that's called Voice Enhancer. That's coming up. And Music Sense. As a musician, this is something I've always been interested in, is taking music when all of the tracks are combined together. So bass, piano, guitar, drums, all those different things are on one file, one song. You can upload the song and it will deconstruct the song into separate instruments and give you separate tracks. So you'll get a track just for the drums, a track just for the piano, a track just for the guitar, a track just for the bass, and give you separate, they call them stems, but separate tracks, breaking the one track into multiple tracks, and then allowing you to do all kinds of mixing and editing. As a musician, this is a huge thing that I love. And the fact that that's coming in the future for voicemaker.in, it's called Music Sense, and that'll be coming soon. So again, a tool for you as a podcaster. My first thing I would tell you, if you're looking for a voice actor, is to hire somebody. That would be the first thing I would tell you to do. There's so many people I could get you in touch with. Reach out to me if you're looking for a human voice actor that you're willing to pay good money to hire them to be your voice actor. I've got a lot of great people I can send you to that are very amazing and very, they're not like super expensive, but they're well worth every penny. So if you want to hire a human, which would be my preference for you as your podcaster, you want them to do your intro, your outro, or whatever, I would hire a human first. If you can't do that and money is tight, $5 a month will get you through the door, and even the free plan will get you started. Voicemaker.in is a great tool. I'd love for you to go kick the tires on it. And again, if you're really not sure, reach out to me. We can go over it together, and I can walk you through how I'm using it for my show. And I just really appreciate Voicemaker.in giving us these tools for creative people like you and I to be able to take our voices and use them in a great way. Voicemaker.in. I hope you guys go check it out.
Okay, so this is Dave one last time before I go. I'm having too much fun with it, so I wanted to do one more. So I picked another voice instead of a closing as we go. I just want to talk quickly about our meetup groups where we get together as podcasters, we help each other. And if you're looking for a community, I believe that nobody should podcast alone. No one should go swimming alone. Nobody should go podcasting alone. You need a community in your life, somebody to keep you going. Then please come check out our meetup as well. There's an episode we did about lean learning, Pat Flynn's new book. You got to go listen to the audiobook. It's amazing. It's got so many direct correlations for you as a podcaster to help you in your journey. Again, I'm not sponsored by Pat. I'd love to be sponsored by Pat, but I'm not. It's called Lean Learning. You can get the audiobook on Audible or wherever you get your audiobooks. And I love it. I'm going to be listening to it more than once because there's so much value in there. And I did a quick episode talking about that in the past. Go back and listen to that as well. The book, again, is called Lean Learning. It's time to get away from just just going through the process of learning about podcasting. It's time to get into podcasting and actually start and put away the books, get out the microphone, hit record. It's time for action. You have enough to do what you need to do. Again, my favorite quote that I've been saying so many times, do what you can with what you have where you are. Theodore Roosevelt. I love it because that's everything. You have the permission to start. You don't need another course. You don't need another podcast episode about podcasting. Even though I love having you here, you need to just start. So Lean Learning, grab a copy of it, grab a paperback copy of it. Go if you get the audio version, but go and spend some time with this book. I think the audio version is about 5 hours of time to listen to all this. You go do it in chunks, but go grab a copy. And maybe this will be the last book you need to get you started on your podcast journey. So grab a copy, listen to it, and be inspired. Don't be discouraged. It's not meant to discourage you. It's meant to inspire you. So again, Lean Learning, Pat Flynn, go check it out. And again, this is Dave using voicemaker.in. You obviously tell this isn't my real voice, but I'm just having so much fun with this. If you want help with your voice or getting voices for your show, reach out, howtopodcast.ca. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate everyone that listens to the show. You mean a lot to me, and I would love to hear from you at howtopodcast.ca. Take care. See you guys.
Hey, thanks for being here. Thank you for listening to the end of the podcast. You're here with me. I'm so grateful. I want to put something in front of you person that's listened this far, you're my new best friend. So what I'm trying to do every month is I have a goal, and you can help me with this goal. Very simple. What I'm trying to do is have 5 conversations this month with listeners of the How to Podcast series. You don't have to have a podcast to respond. This can be the first time ever that we're going to have a conversation, but I'm looking to talk to 5 people. Now, you're still here, so you're one of the people that I would love to talk to next. So on my howtopodcast.ca website is a calendar, and I'd love to have you respond on howtopodcast.ca. Just click the calendar link, set up time in my calendar, and in the comments section for the meeting, just put something like listener. That's it. If you have a show, put it in the comments too so I can go listen. But if you don't, I just want to talk to 5 listeners every month from now to the end of the month. So if you're listening to me right now, you're the person I want to talk to. And through howtopodcast.ca, you and I can get together, chat about the show, chat about your journey as a podcaster. Where are you at? What do you need this show to become for you? What's missing? Your feedback. I just want to meet you. And as podcasters, I would encourage you to do something similar to this in your podcast so that you can meet and interact with your audience. So, howtopodcast.ca, I'm looking to talk to 5 people every month, and I would love for you to be one of them. Reach out. It's free. I'm not selling you anything. I just want to talk to you at howtopodcast.ca. Let's get in the calendar and chat. Thanks for listening.